Soul. I'm gonna turn you guys around really quick. We're gonna have a look at this character, and then we're gonna talk about him a little bit. Let's get you in the thing. Whoops. Come on, it's not my first day, I swear. You know, I've got echoes happening off the other one. Okay. Oh, goodness. All right, so I survived the New Year's celebrations last night, but boy, just barely. Good morning, Ryan, or happy afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are. It's 2025, that's for sure. We are doing that today. All right, so this cool cat here, this good-looking guy, is my Grandpa Don, or was my Grandpa Don. One of my favorite relatives, if I have to be perfectly honest. Him and then my Uncle Don are a couple of my favorite relatives. 2 p.m. It's 1 p.m. here, so I'm an hour late. I actually didn't wake up until like 11:30, and I usually start my live at noon. And I was like, oh goodness, I don't remember the last time I slept till 11:30, but we were up late ringing in the new year. So anyway, I'm just gonna let you guys have a little look at my grandpa here. And I'm going to read you a story about my grandpa. This story was written by his childhood friend, Steve. Let's see if I can find out when. It was written in 1998, but the story is true and takes place between 1953 and 1955. So I know with the new year and everything, our focuses are oftentimes, we're focusing forward. You know, we're setting goals, we're making New Year's resolutions and things like that. And I just want to not forget where we all came from, right? Like, I think that that's really important. It is important to look forward to, hey, soul, there you are. But it's also important to remember where we came from. So I just want to read a couple stories today. We're not even really going to look at rocks. We're just going to, it's going to be kind of a, I don't know, more podcast style thing. But like I say, we're going to read a story about my Grandpa Don, written by his friend Steve in about 1953 or 1955, when these guys were young kids. So here we go. Without further ado, and cheers, stay hydrated. I'm going to have a sip. Yeah, we were rocking last night, Ryan. I heard that the feed wasn't very good, though, so I cut it short. Okay. I would tell you the name of this story, but I think that it's a bit of a spoiler, so we're just going to jump right into it with the preset that this is, again, about my grandpa, written by his friend. It, I believe, is a part of his hunting memoirs. So his friend is writing this as his memoirs. As a kid, I spent several summers on my grandparents' farm in western Montana. We lived in the Bitterroot Valley, about 3 miles east of Corvallis. Life there was exactly what a young person should experience: milking cows, irrigating, working with threshing crews, and of course, shooting gophers. My best friend had no first name. The family name was Sylvester. Grown-ups called him that Sylvester kid, and those of us who were his own age just called him Sylvester. I was about 10 at the time of this story, and I suppose he was about a year older. One thing that set Sylvester apart from the rest of us was his pet. The rest of us had dogs. Mine was called Spotty, and he smiled when you fooled with him. Sylvester had a 20-pound tomcat named Skunk, who went everywhere with him. Skunk was a black and white ball of feline terror that was tougher than any dog that had ever lived. The funny thing was that Sylvester and I were the only people that could pet Skunk and not come away with a heap of claw marks and terminal cat bites. At the beginning of the summer, my granddad issued me a worn-out single-shot Hamilton 22-aught rifle and a box of 22 Winchester shells. My uncle had won the Hamilton by selling packages of seeds to all of the neighbors. Legend has it that the seeds were no good. I can assure you that the Hamilton, at least by the time that I got it, wasn't a whole lot better. To the south of the farmhouse was a series of rolling hills and pasture land. The hills broke into a coulee, and at the bottom of that was a big ditch. The gophers were causing my granddad no end of aggravation throughout the entire area, and it was to be my responsibility to thin out their numbers. My granddad struck a hard bargain. I was to hunt gophers only when I had no other farm chores to do. Also, my 22 shells would be replenished on the following basis. I got one shell for every gopher tail I brought him. It didn't take long for me to realize that I had a tough job ahead of me. I shot up the box of 22s in a couple of days and only had 6 tails to show for it. Welcome, Brian. And only had 6 tails to show for it. Granddad, true to his word, gave me 6 Winchester 22 shells for the tails. Obviously, something had to be done about this state of diminishing returns. Sylvester came to the rescue. He was in charge of gopher control at his place on the other side of the big ditch, and unlike me, he got his 22 shells by the brick, and he graciously loaned me a box. If memory serves, I believe we sealed the deal by wiggling our toes in the same fresh-dropped cow pie. Welcome, Cindy and Brian. Reading a story about my grandpa, written by his childhood friend. And Roger, welcome. Happy New Year, everybody. Also, Sylvester taught me a trick that he said was just as much fun as shooting gophers. He gave me some fine copper wire that came from an old Ford that was tipped over in the lower coulee. Sylvester taught me to snare gophers by finding a live mount, placing a sliding circle of wire around the hole, and patiently waiting for the gopher to reappear. You have to sit back a ways, and you have to pull hard when Mr. Gopher makes his move. Then you have to keep a tight, steady line on the gopher or you'd lose him. When you finally get the gopher bulldog, you stomp him or knife him and cut off his tail. The beauty of it, sorry. The beauty of it is that the whole episode is great fun and it earns you a shiny new Winchester 22 shell. Time spent out at the Gopher Hills was well spent by this 10-year-old. This was quality time. Time when you looked for pictures in the clouds, contemplatively picked your nose, or fooled with Spotty. Especially the latter, 'cause I sure loved to see him smile. It didn't take too long until I won back my original ammo supply of a full box of shells. I also repaid Sylvester his loan. With Sylvester's coaching, I found that you could tend 2 wires at the same time, but only on a good day, and it really cuts into your quality time. On the day in question, Spotty and I were shooting and snaring gophers. We were sitting on a small ridge late in the middle of the afternoon, watching a snare to the west of us. Then I noticed... Doesn't it, Ryan? Then I noticed something really unusual. A large black and white critter, which we took to be Sylvester's tomcat, was digging out a gopher mound on the next hog back to our west. I thought it strange that Skunk would be out hunting alone, but I assumed that my friend would be along directly. They were always together, and it was just natural that Sylvester would be on the ridges somewhere. Not to be unfriendly, Spotty and I decided to go over and play with Skunk. So I rolled up my gopher snare, grabbed the Hamilton, gathered up Spotty, and dropped into the coulee. The ridge was short but steep. When we were about to break over the top, I could hear Skunk, busy digging for gophers. I knew that tomcat was just a short distance away, exactly in the direction of the setting sun. We broke over the top here, just a few feet away, was a skunk. Not Skunk the tomcat, but Skunk the skunk. Tail up and aiming his you-know-what at Spotty and me. It didn't take long to thumb back the Hamilton's hammer and aim at the only thing I could, the round target under tail. And at the exact moment that I fired, I was aware of an ever-expanding donut being fired our way. In a heartbeat, Spotty and I were in the same condition. Skunk sprayed. My eyes burned. I let out a gasp. Spotty yelped and rolled. We couldn't get away from it. As we set out for home in the ever-gathering darkness, Granddad leaned out of the milk house, sniffed, grinned, and slammed the door. With the wind to our backs, we approached the farmhouse. Apparently, our odor had preceded us, because we were met by Grandma before we could enter the warming porch. No way we were going into her house. With the crustiness of a hardened drill sergeant, Grandma ordered us to do the following. First, we were to deposit my clothes in the old unused outhouse. Then we were to submerge our bodies, our entire skunk stinking bodies, into the little ditch that flowed between the chicken house and the barn. And finally, we were to remain there until she determined we'd soaked enough. I'll never forget Spotty, there next to me in the ditch, just his nose and eyes sticking out of the water. He was a sorry sight. In his dog eyes, I probably didn't look any better. Grandma was down after a while. It seemed like a century. She rubbed us both down with warm, raw milk. Then we washed off in the ditch again. Sylvester, my grandpa, thought that the whole episode was quite funny. From then on, he called me Stinky and referred to the incident as shootout with the striped cat. Guess that the skunk and I both got a kill that day. These days, 40-odd years ago, make up several pages in my hunter's memory. I visit them often, for they carry a lot of lessons. From my granddad, an old market hunter, I learned the value of a single round of ammunition. And in the years since, I've hunted all over the world, and apparently Granddad's lessons served me well. I don't simply squeeze off a round until I'm sure of the kill. And from Sylvester, I learned that friendship that comes from a fellow hunter. He taught me patience in hunting and the skill of seeing pictures in the clouds. He taught me that two friends can sit side by side for hours, not saying a thing and yet communicate perfectly. From Spotty, I learned unqualified love of a good dog. He died many years later doing what he loved to do, hunting. He was chasing a rabbit when his heart gave out on him. If there is a dog heaven, Spotty is there, sleeping behind the old wood stove, twitching and breaking wind like he did in the warm farmhouse of my youth. I hope we meet again someday. I miss his smile. Is this, it is one which creates more of the mounds in the ground, especially during the day. So yes, the name of that story is Shootout with the Striped Cat. Like I say, it was written about my grandpa Donald Sylvester. Like I say, they called him Sylvester, or as it says in the beginning of the story, grown-ups just called him that Sylvester kid. Oh, thank you, soul. You're gonna make me ring the saw blade this morning. Bink. Anyway, I absolutely do love that story. It is heartwarming. It is everything a good story should be. Well, let's put the Boy Scout juice down here. There's a couple rocks sitting up there. We'll put those over there. Look, we got new stickers. I got them in green this time. We've done the black and the orange before. I got new baggies. More new baggies. We were out, remember? Way past due. And more baggies. Now that we can get into the saw. Yeah, buddy. That was a big one. Give a big ring for Soul this morning. All right. Yeah, I love that story. I really do. I'm so glad that we have a copy of that. Again, it's more about my grandpa's friend than it is about my grandpa, but still, it circles back around. It starts with my grandpa and kind of ends with my grandpa, and I love that. So I had promised you guys while we're doing story hour here by the fire. Yeah, ringing in the new year. I promised you guys once to read a story that my son wrote, and so we're gonna bounce back to that. We went from a story that took place in about the 50s somewhere to one that's quite. In fact, I might read two of these to you guys. Quite modern. Absolutely, all family stories are worth weights in gold. I agree. So yeah, this is definitely treasure of a different kind, but I wanted to share it with you guys today. Again, it's good to look forward in the new year, but it's also good to reflect on what we've done and how we got here. So this story is called Never Never Land, and it was written by Caden for his English 9 memoirs, I think they call it. What do they call it? Portfolio. His English 9 portfolio. So 2022 to 2023. My place that is significant to me is out at my grandma's ranch. There I have built a fort in my favorite spot. There are trees that are tall like lighthouses and whistle like a kid with no front teeth, but have tiny little dark green needles. There in my small fort, there are dirt paths with little patches of grass haphazardly spread about. On the far side of the fort, I have built a low-quality bed. It lies on the ground, and its sides are made of wood. A pillow made of cattail grass lays on the dirt bottom at the head of the bed. At the foot of my bed, I have a bench, which is just 2 chopped-up old logs left behind, like a book in a library when it is finished. Near the entrance, I have a frail wall about 3 feet high made of sticks of all shapes and sizes. On the far right, or the north side of the fort, I have a collection of old jars and bottles I found in the dirt and the bushes. My favorite part of the fort is the sunrise. When the sun rises, the orange and yellow glow topples over the butte like a pan of boiling water and fills the trees around me. The cold fog, which always passively lingers, glows in the light for the first time of the day. I feel the warmth of the sun on my skin, and at that moment, the wildlife burst into sound with passion. The calves moo like little children trying to find their mothers for breakfast. The birds sing in their high-pitched voices, and the hornets begin eating bites of wood from the logs around me for their nests. The horses neigh from afar. My grandmother begins her morning chores, and I know that my time here has ended, and it's time for work. He really does have a little fort out there. They both do, both the kids. They literally built a Never Never Land out there, and they've stayed the night out there. They've had little fires. They've stayed out there with their cousins and stuff. So he's not joking. When he goes and stays out at grandma's, he is literally sleeping on a little bed he's made out of dirt with cattail pillows and watching the sun come up and then getting off to work. Off to go do his chores. Here's a good one. I like this. Okay. As I walk through the small damp piles of leaves on the sidewalk between the garage and my house, I smell the smell of cold, rotting leaves and plants and other kinds seeks their way into my nose. It is pleasant and it soothes me. The cold rubs against my arms. A slight wind whistles in my ears. The leaves scrape against the ground around me. The bare branches on the trees high above loom upon me, and the leaves falling free as birds. My neighbor, Miss Gilmore, raking her lawn, waves her scrawny old hand at me and smiles. I smile back joyfully. As I get on my bike, I begin to cruise down the old gravel road. Branches and leaves fill the roads as the early morning sunrise peeks over the mountain. The golden orange light fills the town like an avalanche of light. Instead of looking away, I look at the mountain peak and wish that everyone could see this. My bike begins to click as I stop pedaling and go around the lush lawned trailer house plot. I don't dare touch such a perfect lawn. The cracked sidewalk below me has patches of grass growing out of its cracks in bunches, and the bare tree branches reach for me with its knobby fingers. I weave around the cars and trucks in the parking lots and dodge signs. I go around the frosty, damp football practice field, around my neighbor's shipping crate, and finally make it to my house. The bland, permafrosted dirt with grass makes a rubbery crunching noise under my tires, along with the crackle of the leaves. The chimney piles smoke out and light pours from the windows. My dog yaps with excitement for my arrival, and I know my mom is awake. She has started warming the house for my appearance. Nostalgia fills my body and mind, for I have done this route hundreds of times before. I open the door to my cozy home and am greeted by a little black and white dog skidding to a stop, and my mother closing the fireplace with a muffled bang. A warm breeze caresses my arms and my face begins to thaw. An irresistible smile fills my face as I ask if she wants coffee, although I already know the answer to that foolish question. I take off my shoes and make my way to the kitchen, preparing for the day to come. After all, it's New Year's Day. I've made that last part up because he said it's Halloween after all. But after all, it's New Year's Day. Why not? Oh. Is there anything else in here we should read? Oh. Yeah, good stuff. I love it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what is this? I don't even know. Yes, he is a very good writer, isn't he? Again, this is freshman writing too. This isn't, senior story writing classes or anything. This is freshman English 9 writing. Throughout my freshman year, this is called freshman reflection. Throughout my freshman year, a lot has happened. I would not consider most of it life-changing or anything, but I am certain all of it had an impact on my personality or physical strengths. There is one thing that I am certain of, reflecting on all of the events this year, that has changed who I am, and that is getting my pants. I remember going home one day in small blue jeans and seeing a pile of pants on the floor. My mother was in the kitchen eating an ice cream sandwich and told me to try those pants on. As I was shuffling through the stack of pants to see which ones would fit, I came across these beautiful brown pants. I knew these were the ones. The pants that were meant to be around my body. This is hilarious. Oh my God. My dad never liked these pants. Recently has gotten me new pants in an attempt to make me get rid of these wretched things. But that was not convincing enough because I am writing this. I am wearing these bad boys. And and boy, am I comfy, he says. Oh my God, this is hilarious. These things have changed me because for one, I am constantly comfy. And for two, I practically have infinite pocket space so I could carry whatever I want hands-free. My pants need bigger pockets too, son. I love these pants because they are a little too big, according to everyone, and I admit I have some growing to do before I look natural in these pants, but at least I know I can wear these for a long time before they, like all of my other pants, get too small for me. That is if they ever do. That concludes my freshman life-changing story, and I hope my teacher allows this. Oh, you guys, I mean, never take for granted how awesome your pants are. This 2025, let's be happy we have pants with pockets. Oh, gosh. Let's be glad they're comfy, they fit right, and we got a little room to grow. Oh, that just sums it up, doesn't it? I didn't plan on the pants story, you guys. I'd planned on the other two. Oh, that is so funny. It put tears in my eyes. The very critical part of a wardrobe. Agree, soul. Oh, you should get some carpenter pants, Cindy. Buy them too big. Make sure they have lots of pockets. Cheers. Oh, gosh. Seriously, you guys, we look back at some of these stories and what's important? What's important in the first one? Where these aren't the things that, you know what, if somebody said what are the things in life that make you happy, you know, some of those things that somebody's going to put on that list might be things like money, marriage, a house, a good job, you know, those kinds of things. But in all reality, yes, those things matter. I'm not saying they don't matter, but in all reality, the kinds of things that really enrich your life and make your life better are things like learning the art of seeing pictures in the clouds, knowing and understanding the value of a 22 shell, good friends, family, and a good pair of pants. So it really is those little things in life that make life enjoyable. It's those things that don't cost any money at all. Your friends and family, those things in life that are free. And stopping to appreciate how comfortable and well fit these pants are and how much, you know, rock pocket space there are. And all of that stuff is, you know, taking a moment to appreciate the sun coming over the hill and the smell of the fresh air and all of that stuff is what makes life great on a day-to-day basis. Sure, you need to have things like a good job, family, a home, you know, you need those things. Those are essentials as well. But really, you know, according to my kid, you could be living on a homemade little dirt bed in your Never Never Land fort, and it could be the most awesome day of your life, you know. So, I think it's really important. I didn't, or appreciating the Northern Lights when you get a chance, right, Cindy? Some of those just little things that cost no money at all. You just got to step outside and look up at the big sky and, you know, or like rock hounding. That is one reason why I do really like rock hounding. It is really an affordable hobby. I mean, yeah, you do kind of got to put a little fuel in the vehicle once in a while to get out and about and, you know, things like that. But you really can go rock hounding anywhere, even in a park in the middle of a city that has a walking path or that has a little, you know, creek run through it or something. Nobody says you can't look at rocks there. So to me, some of those things in life that are free are some of the most valuable, most important, most irreplaceable things in life. I think I'm probably the same way, Soul. I think I probably have 8 pairs of pants, but I have like 3 that I wear on a regular basis. And if something happens, you know, we didn't get the laundry done or something, then I wear the pants I dislike. The ones I don't like as much. Yes, yes, yes. Flash in your pan says one of the reasons I love prospecting. I get out with nature, running water with me in the gold pan. Uh, it's just, yeah, it's all a bonus. And if you find something, that's great. But if you don't, at least you got out. At least you got out and you got to enjoy the nature a little bit. I think even if that's all you found was a beautiful afternoon and some fresh air, then you're winning. You know, it's a bonus to be able to bring something home on top of that, right? But I don't know about you guys. When I go out with like zero to no expectations. I'm like, it'd be nice if we'd find some rocks, you know, some petwoods or some agates or something today, but certainly no guarantees. So. Right, Lava Bison? He says, I'd like a collage of my memorable moments. Make that positive memorable moments. Oh, yeah, but no rain, no rose, right? Isn't that what they say? So sometimes you got to have a rainy day to make that flower grow. It is. It is really hard to be disappointed if you don't have any of those expectations. If all you are expecting is just to get out and see what's going on, then you'll be happy when you go see, won't you? Mm. It's about the journey. Yes, it is. And if you get too focused on the destination, sometimes you forget to appreciate some of that little stuff along the way. Yes, yes. Always find something. Sometimes it stays where it is, but I always find something. Right? Blind squirrel rocks. Exactly. Yeah, you know, and like the guy in the story says, you know, that was his his quality time was scratching his dogs and watching his dog smile when he scratched him and looking for pictures in the clouds and what else did he say? Contemplating something. It was quality time. Time when you looked for pictures in the clouds, contemplatively picked your nose, or fooled with Spotty. Especially the latter, because I sure love to see him smile. You know, that's quality time, right? You know? So. But the sun is a star. It is a star. So yeah, like I say, my Grandpa Don, he was tough, he was rough, he was rude, and he was crude, but he had a big heart. He didn't always know how to show it. He really didn't. Sometimes he had a hard time showing it. But if you could see through the gruff exterior, you could tell he meant it. You knew he had a big heart. He did have a great smile. He was a good guy, really cool guy. Like I say, one of my favorite relatives. I was lucky enough to get to spend a couple summers with him. He ran a, sorry, I've still got the pants. The pants brought tears to my eyes, and I still got the pants story up in my face. Agree. Joy is found in the experiences. Collecting treasures is the bonus. Agree. Agree. So yeah, I got to go stay. My grandpa was in the Navy when he was younger, which I think was actually kind of tough for him. I think he didn't really love that a lot. I think it was good for him. I think it taught him a lot and that kind of thing. But I don't think he particularly loved his time in the Navy. He, when he was done with the Navy, did all kinds of different things. He did, you know, butchering and all kinds of stuff. And then finally, ultimately, where I remember spending time with him, he ran a restaurant called the Cozy Cafe, I think, or I can't even remember what it was called, but it was in up by Sealy Lake, Cozy Corner. was the name of the cafe. I don't remember. But anyway, so I was, visiting grandpa. He was running a restaurant. I was in washing dishes and wiping tables and things like that when I was very young. But some of my favorite memories of spending time with my grandpa were stacking firewood. Again, because it was kind of like treasure hunting. You went up into the woods and you got the wood and you pulled it out and you made a pile. And he was always impressed with how hard I could work. And I always wanted to impress him. So stacking firewood was just the kind of thing I wanted to do for my grandpa, show him how tough I was and how hard I could work stacking wood. But when we weren't working, when we weren't stacking firewood and working at the restaurant and doing dishes and wiping counters and stuff, I would go out behind his house and pick puffball mushrooms out of the forest and bring them back, and he would cook them up in butter and salt and pepper, and it was some of the most delicious. Oh, talk about finding a treasure. Go out to the Montana woods and find a puffball mushroom, bring them home and have your chef grandpa cook them up for you. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, talk about childhood memory right there. Having puffball mushrooms with my grandpa. He taught me how to play cards. And he, wasn't necessarily nice about it all the time, but I remember him getting real mad when I played the wrong card one time. And he knew what cards I had in my hand because he was a good card player. And he got mad and now why'd you tell me why you played that card? And now pick it up. Try again. So, I mean, I think, in my opinion, I had a proper upbringing. I had a good upbringing. I had a lot of family members who had stories like that, and who raised me like that. And I'd like to think that I'm doing a pretty good job raising my kids like that. I might not always use the finest language or the nicest words, but you know that once you get past that gruff exterior, that I really do have a good heart and I really do care. I'm not probably quite as gruff as Grandpa was, but it was different times then too. So, but yeah, I wanted to move forward in 2025 by first moving backwards. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but I don't think it is in the least. I think it's a treasure. And if we don't, this is great. This story about my grandpa, really great. But it'll be forgotten and not appreciated if not opened up and read once in a while, right? It does. It lives in the cedar chest. And it lives in this little protective case so that it stays kind of nice, And then Caden's memoirs too, It's great that they're here, but if no one ever gets to read them ever again, then what's the point of them being here? So it's neat to go out and accumulate new treasures and new experiences and things like that, but it's also neat to stop and reflect on some of that stuff that you have that's priceless, absolutely priceless and irreplaceable. I like it too, I like reading about all the old geologists and stuff that were here too. I like reading about the old stories back in Gold Butte and, some of the first geology and prospecting and things like that happened here. Man, those guys were tough, and I mean tough. And it's so neat to me to read about how it can get darn nasty out here. Darn nasty and cold. I got a big fireplace right there. I got a really nice house, insulated and everything, and I still struggle and find the winter to be brutal and hard. I can't imagine living in an uninsulated cabin, trying to, there's not a lot of trees out here either. There's not a lot of firewood, no running water, no, electricity, no, I just can't imagine how tough that was and how tough some of those people had to be. And you read about it. It was tough. They were, the life expectancy was not great. It was like, you know, you might get tuberculosis and die. You might get a tooth infection and die. You might break a leg and die. I mean, it was like not good stuff, right? So, those guys were tough. I like to think I'm tough, but I don't have to be that tough, and thankfully for that. But I think it's important to stop and remember, you know, how good we do have it, how nice our pants are. How lucky we are to have the perfect pants today. Oh, yeah, thanks, Prairie, for popping in. So yeah, it was a little late start today because, like I say, I was up all night swinging that bass, you know, having a good time. The outhouse was fun, right? Yeah, the outhouse at 3 a.m. would have been darn miserable. Darn miserable. Agree, Ryan, agree. But they may be dirty and ripped a little, but they are the perfect pants. Absolutely, Squirrel. And yeah, thank you, Lava Bison, for doing the gifted membership thing. We'll ring the bell for that. You betcha! You betcha! Ring-a-ding-ding! Yeah! We need to get that blade ringing in another way today, too. We need to get to cutting some stuff. Oh. The stories of the old Sears and Roebuck catalog for the TP and the outhouse, LOL. I must have missed that. Yeah, right? Right, Cynthia? Yeah. Yeah, I just can't imagine. I mean, I am a, like I say, I like to think I'm tough, but I'm a big wimp. You know, I mean, your grandma made those knitted socks for you for a reason, because back in their day, you needed those knitted socks. You really wished you had them when you swung your feet out of bed first thing in the morning and put them on that cold floor. Yeah, you guys know. You guys have got it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's important too, like I say, don't lose sight of, I mean, we're so spoiled and lucky today that we don't have an outhouse, that you can literally walk up to a thermostat on your wall and change the temperature, running water in your kitchen, your refrigerator, all of that stuff is just the little stuff that we take for granted every day, that you want to know what tough is. Those guys who had to do without all of that were tough. You could tell who grew up on the farm and who didn't. Exactly, Squirrel, right? Oh, glad you did, Rick. Yeah, the feed wasn't very stable last night, so I called it quits kind of early. Oh, that crowd last night, by the way, it was fun. It was a masquerade party, so we all had our masks on, so you couldn't tell who we were, right? For a Tuesday night, I can't believe how many people were out dancing and having a good time. Yeah, exactly. Cindy says, we were just talking the other day about how everything is so disposable. I remember watching my mom darn socks. You didn't just throw them out and get a new pair. Yeah, you fixed what you had. Exactly. And it's hard to wash your clothes in the creek when it's frozen. Exactly, Ryan. Rabbits are much softer. What are you talking about, Boot? Oh. Yeah, so I was up late playing music. We got home at about 2, which was actually a good time to get home because the bars don't close till 2. So, but we were close to home last night. We were only about 30 miles away from home. So when we got done at like 1:30, we got home by 2. And you're right, Sharon. I've heard that before. What is that? I mean, I'm not saying you're right, but I have heard that wives' tale before. I get what you're saying now, squirrel and boot. You guys are terrible. I've heard don't wash your clothes on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Ma! Good morning, Ma! Rick says, we had feathered beds, brick warmed by the fire, and the dashhounds that somehow didn't suffocate under the covers at the foot of the bed. You know, and kids today, if they saw, you know, the little bed warmers, where you put the coals inside the little thing and then you put it down in your blankets, you know, to warm your toes. Kids today would have no idea what that is. No idea. And here I am rocking my heated jacket. I just push a button, burp, my jacket turns on and warms me up, you know. Yeah, like I say, I like to think I'm tough, but yeah, Happy New Year, Arkansas, and welcome to the live. Like I say, we're just telling stories today. We read a story written about my grandpa Don first, and then we read a story written by my son. So we just kind of had story hour today instead of rocks. Kind of a little bit different style live for us today, but like I say, I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to take that second to reflect back before we plow on forward at full speed ahead. So yeah, not even really a rock show until today. I mean, we could look at a couple of rocks really quickly. I got a couple agates sitting right here. But yeah. Oh, and I have new things in the works over here too. Of course, there's always something going on over here, but I know, I've always heard that growing up too, but I don't know why. As Appreciate Your Pants Day. I love that. Cindy, I love that. Here's a funny story, you guys. Speaking of appreciating your pants, because right about the time your pants give out on you is when you really realize how much you did appreciate your pants. I was out rockhounding one day and I had the pants rip all the way down the back of the pocket, all the way down the leg, and the whole leg and butt cheek was out and the jeans were flapping in the wind, like literally flapping in the wind. And I'm standing up on the top of this like plateau thing, and this road comes by me where I'm kind of doing some road hunting, right? Some road hounding. And as I come up the hill, here comes a truck full of Hutterites. And they're packed in there like sardines. And as they're coming around the corner, I'm like, hey. And as they drive by, I'm turning my body so that they can't see my backside. Because the whole hiney was out. So, nothing like losing the entire hind end of your britches to make you appreciate your pants. You're right, Cindy. And pants is optional. I mean, some people prefer bibs. Some people prefer shorts. Oh. Hiney all white and shiny. Exactly. Like a flag of surrender. You know, I surrender. Here's my white flag waving in the air. Like, exactly. Exactly. It was horrible. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. You could go rock hounding for 60 days straight out here and never see another human being. But the one day that your pants fail and your butt is hanging out is the one day that like 35 Hutterites in one truck can drive by. Like they literally like no. No, I think we're gonna kind of take it easy today, Sharon. I really have got some projects that I need to finish up here. Like I say, I have a new and exciting something coming. I will not give the surprise away. Just know that I have a little something in the works, a brand new something that I'm very excited to share with everybody. Let's just say maybe for Valentine's Day would be a great time to let this out. The moon rose early that day. Yes, Rick, it did. It did. And no matter how hard you tried to hide it. Oh, where's Boot and the Allison's butthole comment? Right, Ryan? Oh. Your ability to avoid. Thanks, Brian, for that. Oh my goodness. I remember when I very first started putting YouTube videos out, I'd said something about brushing the dirt off the rocks on my britches. And somebody said, oh my goodness, britches. I haven't heard that word in forever. And they were like, you're going to need some new britches if you don't stop rubbing all the dirt off the rocks on your britches. And I remember that conversation, and I remember thinking it was kind of silly and funny and stuff, but like literally maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 months later, I was in dire need of new britches. And I was like, maybe whoever said that was right, and I should stop rubbing the rocks on my britches. All right, Sharon. I do not mean to brag, but Lava Bison cooked me some prime rib the other night. And it was like I almost just got like straight up meat sick, like too much red meat. It was worth it though. There might be a little bit left over in there and I could go do it again. Yes, and Brian, every day is no pants day. It's a pants optional day, depending on what company you keep. I love that. So yeah, I mean, in this year of 2025, may your britches be strong. May they hold your butt and have fantastic pockets. Yeah, it's a soup kind of day if you ask me. Right, Ma? Soup. Oh. Yeah, so it's kind of a weird way to put our foot forward in 2025, where we run a rock hounding YouTube channel, and we didn't look at any rocks today. We did a couple, but not for real, right? Oh, Ma, I actually meant to send this to you in your package, this little chalcedony that I found. And he was sitting on the kitchen table waiting to go in your package, and then he got forgotted. But we're never going to see it because it's so damn bright in here. It glows so stinking green. We can't see it either. It glows so green under the UV, it's not even funny. Anyway, if I can keep track of it, Ma, until the next time we do packages, I'll try to send that your way. There were 2 more I have here that were outrageously UV reactive. Green. Green as green could be. Where'd they go? There's one. Green as green could be. Because I'm radioactive, radioactive. Green agates. But yeah, that one, I meant to send that to you, Ma. There it is. Like I say, if I can keep track of it. Really? Rufo? Really? Oh, Sharon, that sounds yummy. Oh, you guys are making me hungry. You guys stop making me hungry. I've even emptied my cup. Oh. So I can't even pacify myself with warm coffee. So yeah, we've got Ryan, we've got Brian, we've got the Lavally Bison, we've got Ma, we've got Sharon, we've got Rick, we got Rufo. We had Prairie, we had Flash in Your Pan, we had all kinds of people in here today, which is just wonderful. I love kicking off the new year with all of you guys, even if it's just a quick, hey, how's it going? Let's stop and appreciate our pants kind of day. That sounds wonderful, Sharon. And yeah, welcome back, Rufo. Are you back? I think you're back, but welcome back. And if you're not, enjoy your time. Oh, Rick, that's hard. Oofda, that's tough. That's tough. At least she's not lactose intolerant. When people tell me, oh, my significant other can't have cheese or dairy, I'm like, that's sad. Yeah, well, welcome back, Rufo. I mean, I'd like to say we're glad to have you back, but I'm sure that you were enjoying your trip and could have enjoyed it for another day or two, but we're glad you're back. Until your next trip. Yeah, mushrooms, that would be, I would be sad about that. I could maybe do without broccoli, but mushrooms, those need to be in some things. Some people would very much so disagree with that, so to each his own. Yeah, welcome home. You can train your guts to like dairy. How's that working out for you, Lava Bison? So get training. No, you guys are great. Sharon just keeps saying it. Stop it, Sharon. Investing in Pepsid. I need to train harder. Again, may your pants be awesome. May they leave you just a little room to grow, but also just, hold your body just right. Oh, no. You must love her something, Rick. Yes. Yes, you must, indeed. Okay, let me go fill my cup up really quick, and then we'll come back, probably say our adiosios and sing the song and all that. Yeah, not chocolate. That's pretty hardcore. That's rough, Rufo. Stop it, Sharon. And Rick says it's okay that my wife can't have chocolate because I eat her share. I see. That was a strategic plan, wasn't it, Rick? mm. Oh, yeah, but Sharon keeps saying that she wants to do the peppermint brownies, but there was some kind of a dessert that was served at one of the, oh, shoot, today's Joni's retirement party too. I need to go down to that. Fellas, wake up. We got to go to Joni's retirement party. They're awake. They're just hanging in their loungewear. There was some kind of a dessert that was served at one of these community events, and it had the thin Oreos, minty Oreos in it, baked in it. And that was pretty yummy because it had like the little Oreo crunch still, but the chocolate and the mint, and oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, we cannot enjoy all of those desserts unless our pants are right. So, according to the Rockhounds, today is National Appreciate Your Pants Day. That was so great. Like I say, I didn't plan that. I just stumbled upon it. It was the greatest thing ever. And again, bigger is better because you can cinch up a pair of big pants with a belt, but if they're too small, what do you do? And remember, pants are optional. You guys are awesome. So yeah, don't forget to take just a moment when, hey, Eric, welcome. Just got some new pants. Yay. Remember to take us just a second to appreciate some of those things in life that are free. A pretty sunset, a pretty sunrise, sniff a flower, appreciate your pants. You know, I mean, some of those things are some of the things that really, really matter in life. You know, hug a family member, say I love you. You know, those simple little things that cost absolutely $0 are some of the things that are most irreplaceable in life. So, yes, you know, the way that pair of pants fits is just absolutely irreplaceable. You know, my grandpa and his stories, irreplaceable. I'm glad that we have him. I'm glad we have his stories. You know, we don't have him anymore, but we do have his stories, and that helps to keep him alive and in our family, right? You know, what will my kids and grandkids say about me someday, or your grandkids and their grandkids say about you? I agree. My free cat keeps stepping on my keyboard, says Eric. You know, simply scratching your dog behind its ears and watching it smile, or finding a picture in the clouds, appreciating sitting side by side with somebody for hours and not saying a word but communicating perfectly. You know, those little things. I want to not forget about those things that are important. I mean, rocks are great and they're important, and they're the reason why a lot of us come together week after week and appreciate each other's company. But you know, they are replaceable. There are some of those free things in life that are important, but you know, the kind of stuff that money can't buy but can, you know. So yes, our rocks are important. I think it's important too that, like, when I go out rock hounding, or if I purchase a rock, or if I make a piece of jewelry, oftentimes I can tie that to something. Finding a rock, I can remember the day that I did that. I can remember what it was like. I can remember where I was. Was it a hot day? Was it a rainy day? Was it a muddy day? that kind of thing. And then I take that rock that I found on that day with that, story behind it, and I turn it into, maybe a piece of jewelry. And then somebody like Ma comes along and purchases that piece of jewelry. And now I've got, that connection with Ma to that. So you can take a completely inanimate object like a rock and turn it into something that has a sentimental value, something that takes you right back to that time, that place, that person. So, yeah, find a picture in the clouds, find a picture in a rock, like I say, sniff a flower, say I love you, find that perfect pair of pants. All of those things should be, I think, setting New Year's resolutions and goals and things like that are important. But, all too often we're like, well, by the end of the year, I'm going to own a new vehicle and hopefully I've got a raise or a promotion at my job. Why? Why not make it something that's super achievable? Like, I want to say I love you more often to my family this year. I want to hug those who are close to me more often this year. I want to appreciate sunrises or sunsets more this year, or I want to take more time to stop and smell the flowers, or to sit on the hillside in the wind and listen, whatever it is there's nothing wrong with setting a goal that is good for your mental health, that is good for your soul. Like, never mind what you think society wants you to think makes you happy. Like I say, never mind, like, I want to make more money this year. I want to buy a bigger house this year. Those things are great. Those are great goals. But let's not stop and forget about some of those goals that are actually really good for our soul and our well-being and our mental health. So, just being next to each other on the couch and not even having to talk. Exactly. Right, Ma? Yes, I agree, Eric. Eric says the appreciation for beauty is free, which I always feel is a wonderful gift, and I think most of, if not all, rock collectors share. Agree. You'll be laughing with the grandkids about the paint can incident. Here's to no explosions in 2025. I second that, Ryan. Thank you, Ma. And yeah, I'm not really worried about it. I know you'll get around to it. Oh. Or get up 20 minutes earlier just to enjoy that first cup of coffee, right? Right? Or stay in bed for 20 minutes longer just to enjoy laying in bed for, whatever it is. It might sound simple and maybe even stupid, but you know what? If it makes your heart happy and it makes your soul feel good, then it's important. Sometimes 20 minutes is all it really takes to make a really positive impact on your mental health. So. Oh. Well, it's true though, Ma. I mean, like I say, some of those things that just they're literally an object, but they can tie you to a place or a person and remind you of a time and a place. So. Mm-hmm. Yes, and Happy New Year to everybody. Like I say, you don't have to set a resolution or a goal that sounds good to society. Set one that makes your heart happy. Set one that sounds good to you. Set one that is good for you. If any at all. Maybe you'll just say, hey, resolutions and goals aren't for me. I ain't doing it. That's fine too. And hello, Molly. Happy New Year. Happy hounding. On that note, you guys, cheers to that. What day is it today, said Piglet. Ah, said Pooh, it's my favorite day. And today is my favorite day for sure. Hey, Jeff and Vicky. Happy New Year. Holy cow, Jeff. I was watching that live the other day while I was getting ready for work. Holy crap, that purple. Whew, that purple. Oh, if you guys didn't watch Jeff's live the other day, go check it out. She's waving. Molly. Hi, Molly. I love it. All right, guys. Well, we did things today. Like I say, it was a little bit different. But like I say, I just wanted to do it. So that's what we did. Like I say, you should just do whatever you want. 2025. Oh no. Oh no, Cindy. Yeah, Jeff said that purple was mine. Don't give it to her, Jeff. She'll just put it in her bathtub. No. Darn it, Cindy. Oh, you guys are great. Mm-hmm. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much, Rick, for being here. Oh, no. Rufo, you've got a point there. There's something happening. Rufo says, WTF is 2025. The first 3 days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. LOL. WTF. Rufo. Oh, we could have maybe lived without having that pointed out to us. We could call it WTF, when they fit, when the pants fit. We'll call it When the Pants Fit 2025. Yeah, when did the auction start? I missed that auction. You guys are great. Oh, yeah, I wish I could take full credit, but I saw it elsewhere. It's all right. We're going to make it our own. When they fit. Thomas! Thomas is saying hi. Hi, Thomas. Happy New Year, buddy. Wear them pants. I love that, Cindy. Oh, exactly. Oh, Eric, I can't wait to see that. Yes, I agree. 2024 was a little insane, and let's make 2025 better. I agree. I agree. And yeah, looking forward to seeing that video. Eric's working on a 2024 year in review video. Oh, but that's cool. But that's cool. All right, yeah. They are calling for a little more aurora tonight. If you were lucky, you got to see them last night. There's a big geomagnetic G-force storm headed our direction. It was supposed to hit last night, like at midnight. Like, how serendipitous is that? It was extremely foggy here last night. Extremely foggy. When we got into the big town, we were trying, and I know that counting streetlights is not an official way to measure fog, but we could only count 5 streetlights in front of us. And they were bright streetlights. So super foggy here last night. Absolutely no way, even if they were the best aurora in the entire history of ever, were we going to see them, because you literally couldn't hardly see 30 to 60 feet in front of you. So, but keep your eyes peeled. You never know, Brian. That's a pretty big storm. So, you know, putting auroras way to the south, maybe, maybe not, but yeah, the polar vortexes got us under the snow and the fog right now, so we did not see the northern lights up here. Again tonight, though, maybe. So if your skies are clear, don't forget to have a peek. Yes. Yes, Eric. Awesome. How many wind turbine lights can I see? Yeah, we could see 0 last night, Ryan. It was absolutely buried. We were just buried in fog. Yeah, Rufo sounds good. Whatever you do, don't wash your clothes. Don't do your laundry. That coffee is going down. It's pretty much what it was like here last night, too. Yeah, we couldn't hardly even see to the end of the block. It was pretty bad. Have fun playing with the horses, Rufo. So, yeah, hopefully our skies will clear off a little bit. And if the old wives' tale, what do they say? 60, 90 days after the fog will be rain or whatever. If that's actually true, if that really does pan out like they say it will, we are never going to rockhound again. If that's true, it is going to rain every day for the next 12 months straight. So if the fog equals rain, wives' tale is true, we're going to have a heck of a rough rockhounding season come spring. But, what do you do? But yeah, if the skies will clear off a little bit, maybe we'll get to see some northern lights. Maybe we'll get to see some of that meteor showers. So don't forget to look up and appreciate some of the sky show if it's available for you. No fog in the desert. Well, lucky you. My husband needed clean clothes for work, so we did the laundries, she says. Yes, you were, Bison. You were telling me you were going to do some laundry. I don't know. Believe the wives' tale or don't. Whatever, Go do the laundry. Who cares? All right, we're going to do the thing. We're going to sing the song and get out of here. And Happy New Year to you guys. I just can't enough. I really do wish the happiest of New Year's to you and yours. To Thomas and to Molly and to Ma and to Ryan and to Brian and to Squirrel and to Rick and to Eric and all of you guys. As long as we do it together, it'll be great. Right, Julie? And thank you guys for hanging out today. It's the first one this year. We just keep rolling from here. I've got Meteorite meeting tonight. Brian and Julie usually do a thing on Wednesdays. They go live on Sunday and have a video on Wednesday. Usually, don't quote me on that. I don't usually get to do their Wednesday night hangout because I'm doing my Meteorite thing, but I do try to go back around and catch up on the stuff that I missed. But don't be afraid to go check them out. I don't know why yesterday and today feels so much like Friday to me, but I keep thinking, oh, Karen, and then I'm like, it's not Friday. So Karen, this weekend, and like I say, Jeff and Vicky are always doing fun stuff. Yeah, Eric the Cosmic Cat's got some cool stuff. Go check his videos out. Yeah, Eric's doing something just a little different too, and what he's doing is it requires a little bit of technology and time and patience. So tip of the hat to Eric for what he's doing, and go check out his stuff. Right on. Awesome, Eric. Awesome. I do have a rainbow, huh? Look, right there it is. It's the edge of that mirror over there that's doing it. All right. Yeah, you guys be sure, like I say, go around, check each other out, do the things, spread the love. You guys know what to do. Hit the like buttons and comments and all of that fun stuff that we do to to help the algorithmic thing do its stuff. No video from Brian and Julie tonight. All right, fantastic. So keep your eyes peeled for them again on Sunday. All right, and Sharon, man, she's cooking. She's making that dessert that she just won't quit teasing us with, and she's getting ready to go have herself a party. My party was last night. I'm gonna try to recover today. And yeah, go hang out with my other rock fam, that being the Meteorite crew. Yeah, thank you guys again so much for being here and your continued support too. It's not like you guys just showed up to here today. You're here all the time, continually supporting me and PrairieGirlRocks and being a part of this community. So I really do appreciate it. It's you guys are all special, and it really wouldn't be the same without each and every one of you, honestly. So I'm glad for all of you. You fit just right. Y'all fit just right, like a perfect pair of pants. I wouldn't tailor it any other way. So on that note, may your pants be great this year. Cheers. And thanks, Ma, for doing the wrenchy thing. And there are a few of us here who are not real regulars. So if you see the link, if you're watching later too, Ma just put a link to the Discord in the chat. We do some after hours stuff hanging out there. That might not be a bad idea for us later. If I need some motivation, I may be ringing you. Ring, ring. Ma, hello? Is Ma there? Can she come play on the Discord today? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, good pants to all, and to all good pants. Yes. Like I say, I appreciate you guys and your continued support and community. I really do appreciate you. So, pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Sharon. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one. And they all are very pretty. And they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching. Choose to be anything. Choose to be kind of a rockhound. Oh, Cindy. I'm sorry about that. I've hung out by myself in the lounge before too, Cindy. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you again very soon. Hopefully we can get this ball rolling in the right direction right from the get-go, and hopefully this helped. Hopefully that put a warm feeling in your heart and a smile on your face. So let that just carry right on through all of 2025 if we can, guys. Thanks again. Happiest of New Year's to you and yours.